When temperatures drop below freezing, most cold-blooded animals slow down or die. But a rare few don't just survive, they adapt, sometimes in ways that seem impossible. One of the most extraordinary is the wood frog. Found in North America, it has mastered the art of freeze tolerance. When winter hits, it literally freezes solid. Heart stops, brain activity halts, blood becomes ice. Yet when spring returns, it thaws and walks away like nothing happened. This survival trick hinges on glucose and urea flooding its cells before freezing, which prevents ice crystals from tearing them apart. Another frost-defying survivor is the Siberian salamander. This amphibian can endure temperatures as low as -50 degrees Celsius. Found across Siberia and parts of northern Asia, it can stay frozen for years, even decades, and still return to life once thawed. Scientists have unearthed specimens buried in permafrost that resumed movement after being frozen for over 20 years. The secret is in antifreeze compounds that protect its tissues during the long, deep freeze. Even more bizarre is the painted turtle, especially hatchlings that overwinter in frozen ground. These baby turtles endure partial freezing by allowing ice to form in the spaces outside their cells, but not inside them. They survive anaerobically without oxygen for months, thanks to a metabolic slowdown that would kill most vertebrates. Their blood chemistry shifts to buffer the acid buildup, buying them time until the ice melts and oxygen flows again. Then there's the springtail, a tiny insect-like arthropod found in snowfields and glaciers around the world. These creatures don't freeze at all. Instead, they produce proteins that prevent ice from forming inside their bodies. It's not just about surviving. Springtails stay active, crawling and feeding in sub-zero conditions. They're a critical part of cold ecosystems, breaking down organic material even when everything else is dormant. A less familiar contender is the ice crawler, a rare insect that only lives in cold mountain environments like the Rockies or the Himalayas. These creatures can't tolerate warmth and die if exposed to temperatures above 10 degrees Celsius. They've evolved to thrive on the edge of glaciers, hiding under rocks and snowbanks. With slow metabolisms and antifreeze proteins in their systems, they're a strange inversion of typical insect behavior, built not for heat, but for the cold. Also remarkable is the Weta, a cricket-like insect native to New Zealand. The alpine Weta species can survive being almost entirely frozen. Like the wood frog, they use ice-nucleating proteins to control where ice forms in their bodies. Some Weta can lose up to 80% of the water in their cells to ice formation and still recover. These insects have been seen walking across snow at high elevations, where wind chills drop well below zero. The Emerald Rockcod, a fish living in the Southern Ocean around Antarctica, might be one of the toughest marine cold-blooded animals alive. It swims in water that hovers just above -1.9 degrees Celsius, below the freezing point of its blood. Its secret is a high concentration of antifreeze glycoproteins that stop ice crystals from forming. Without this adaptation, it would freeze from the inside out. The Emerald Rockcod doesn't just survive the cold, it thrives in it, with a steady food supply and few predators. The Siberian Newt is another amphibian champion of the freeze. Found in Russia and parts of Mongolia, it can survive being frozen solid at sub-zero temperatures for weeks. It has a particularly high resistance to cell damage caused by ice crystals. Like the Siberian salamander, it has been revived after years in frozen stasis. The newt slows its metabolism and enters a sort of suspended animation, essentially pausing life until conditions improve. Then there's the Antarctic midge, the only true insect native to Antarctica. It's only a few millimeters long, but can survive extreme desiccation, high salinity, and freezing. Unlike other insects that avoid freezing, the midge tolerates it. Its larvae can survive being frozen at -15 degrees Celsius for months. Their bodies dehydrate to reduce the risk of ice damage, a strategy called cryoprotective dehydration. They spend most of their lives in larval form, emerging as adults just long enough to reproduce during the short summer. Lastly, the Pacific chorus frog adds a West Coast representative to the list. Found from California to British Columbia, It can survive being frozen for short periods, especially in higher elevation regions. Like the wood frog, it produces glucose and urea to protect its cells. These frogs hibernate under logs or leaf litter, where they can partially freeze and still make it to spring. Though not as extreme as their Alaskan relatives, their ability to endure brief freeze-thaw cycles gives them an edge in temperate zones where snow is intermittent. Each of these animals flips the script on what cold-blooded life can do. Instead of escaping the freeze, they've adapted to meet it head-on, freezing, dehydrating, or chemically armoring themselves until warmth returns. These are not just survivors, they are cold-hardened specialists, built to endure conditions that would kill almost anything else.